Hello students, we are starting our second chapter from the chemistry textbook. The name of the chapter is chemical bonding. Chemical bond is the force which holds two or more atoms together in a stable molecule. Means a force which keeps two or more atoms together. So first of all we will study what is an atom. It is given in the textbook. You can easily see the a diagram of an atom. In that diagram there is a nucleus which contains protons and neutrons, and around it electrons are revolving. Each proton, it means that atom is made up of electrons, protons and neutrons. Each proton has a 1 positive charge and mass of 1 AMU. Neutron has no charge and mass of 1 AMU, and electron have -1 charge and its mass is negligible. So this is about atom. Every element, there are 91 elements, 91 naturally occurring elements, and these elements, every element have different atom. These elements are classified as metallic and non-metallic elements. Metallic elements are the elements which have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in the outermost shell, and non-metallic elements are the elements which have 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the outermost shell. There is another type of element, and that type of element is noble gases. And noble gases are the elements which have 8 electrons or complete octet in the outermost shell. Next is chemical combination. Means these elements, we have studied about elements in the last chapter, and these elements combine with each other. And the ways of combining with each other are of two types. One is transferring of electron and another is sharing of electron. We are going to study these two types of chemical combination in detail in this chapter. If we turn to the second page, that is page number 22 of this chapter, you can see first 20 elements. Periodic arrangement means the arrangement like periodic table is done for first 20 elements. You can see each of the element with its electronic configuration, number of protons, neutrons, atomic mass, everything is arranged in the periodic form. So you can see all first 20 elements up to calcium. On the next page, that is page number 23, chemical bond and types of bond. And there are two types of bond, electrovalent and covalent. We are going to study both these bonds, but first of all we have to study why these bonds get formed. So first, there is a definition of chemical bond. The linkage or a force. We have already studied the definition, but again we are reading it. The linkage or force which acts between two or more atoms to hold them together as a stable molecule is called as chemical bond. After that, you can see a table. In that table there are 6 elements arranged, and these elements belong to group 18, or you can call group 0 or noble gas. These are noble gas elements, and you can see each of the element: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. You can see except helium, you can see everywhere 8 in the outermost shell. It means that every element, every one of them, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon, every one of them have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Means they have a complete octet in their outermost shell. And other elements, okay, these are the elements which are called as noble gases, which are placed in the group 0 or group 18 in the periodic table. And all the other elements do not have an octet or do not have 8 electrons in their outermost shell, and therefore they try to attain the noble gas configuration or inert gas configuration in their outermost shell, and that is the reason to form chemical bonding. Every element other than these elements that is neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon never form chemical bond. They never form chemical bond. But all the elements other than these elements do not have a complete octet in their outermost shell, and therefore they always form chemical bonds. Means they either exchange electron, they either give or take electron or share electrons to complete their octet. And because of that nature, every element other than these elements, other than noble gases, form chemical bonds. So there are two ways of completing an octet, completing the outermost shell. They can form duplet or form octet, but duplet is formed by very few elements, the elements which are very closer to the helium, means hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron. These elements can form duplet, and all the other elements form octet, means all the other elements try to have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. And methods of the next topic which can be seen on this page is methods for achieving chemical bonding. So we have already read the methods of achieving chemical bonding. They are transfer of electron and sharing electron. Either elements donate or accept electrons, or they share electrons. When elements donate or accept electron, the bonding is called as electrovalent bonding, and when they share electron, the bonding is called as covalent bonding. The periodic properties, the next topic on this page is periodic properties which affect chemical bond formation. We have studied these properties in the last chapter, that is chapter number 1, ionization potential, electron affinity and electronegativity. The first factor which affects the bond formation is ionization potential. Lower the value of ionization potential of metallic atom, greater the ease of formation of the cation. On and whole, apart from reading all these properties, I can say on and whole, you can consider electronegativity. I will summarize it for you. If the difference between the electronegativities of the two elements is very large, then these elements form ionic bond. If the difference is moderate, then they form polar covalent bond, and if the difference is very small, then they form non-polar covalent bond. So this is the in this way the electronegativity, electron affinity or ionization potential affect the formation of the bonds. We are going to study these factors which affect the bond formation in detail on the next in the next pages. Now we'll turn to the page number 24. Formation of electrovalent compounds. So we all know there are two type of bonds or two types of compounds which can be formed from the various elements, and those two types are electrovalent, that is ionic compounds, and covalent compounds. So first we will study ionic compounds in detail. So for formation of electrovalent or ionic compounds, formation of these compounds involve two things. First, a metallic atom loses its electron or donates its electron and form positive ion. They have shown us with an example. There is a metallic atom named as X. Suppose X has electronic configuration 281. It is written on the, means it is a sodium. So to attain stable electronic configuration, sodium needs to attain stable electronic configuration. It has to attain an octet in the outermost shell. Sodium or element X has a electronic configuration 281. So to attain octet, it has two options. Either it can accept 7 electrons or it can donate 1 electron. Obviously, the easier task is donating 1 electron. Therefore, element X donates 1 electron. As you can see, X loses -1 electron and gets converted into X1 plus. How this X1 plus ion has formed? Element has element has donated one electron. We all know that atom is electrically neutral. The number of protons and number of electrons is equal, means element X has 11 protons as well as 11 electrons, but it has donated one electron, and therefore the number of proton is now one more than the number of electron. Therefore X do not remain neutral now. It has got converted into X1 plus, that is a positive ion. The positive ions are called as cations. And now it has the X1 plus cation have electronic configuration 2,8, which is a stable electronic configuration. At the same time, a negative ion, a non-metallic atom, which is named as Y, it has electronic configuration 287. So this is chlorine. This chlorine, it also required to attain stable electronic configuration. It also requires an octet in its outermost shell. Therefore it also have two options. It can either accept one electron or it can donate 7 electrons. Obviously accepting one electron is a easier task for it, and therefore it accepts one electron and gets converted into Y1 minus now, and it is called as Y anion. It is an anion. Negative ions are called as anion. So now we have X1 plus and Y1 minus. We all know that unlike charges, positive and negative charges, unlike charges attract each other, and therefore this X1 plus and Y1 minus attract each other and they combine to form a compound XY. This is a general method of formation of any electrovalent or ionic compound. This is called as electrovalent or ionic bond. Ionic bond, since the formation of ions takes place first and then the compound is formed, therefore it is also called as ionic compound. Now another term is written over there on the page number 24 only, and it is electrovalency. Electrovalency means you can easily define electrovalency as number of electrons donated or accepted to attain stable electronic configuration. In our example that we have studied above, we have seen that element X has donated one electron to attain stability. Therefore electrovalency of element X is 1 plus. At the same time, electrovalency of element Y, which has accepted one electron, is 1 minus. They have shown a few more examples, as Mg, that is magnesium. Magnesium has electronic configuration 282, therefore it loses 2 electrons and its electrovalency is 2 plus. Another example is oxygen. It has electronic configuration 2,6, therefore to attain stable electronic configuration or to attain octet in the outermost shell, it accepts 2 electron and therefore its electrovalency is -2. Now they have given us a difference between atoms and ions. Okay, so in the above example that we have already studied, X is an atom, and X1 plus, which is formed after donation of electron, is an ion. So what is the difference between an atom and an ion? So most basic difference between an atom and an ion is atom is electrically neutral and ion have a particular charge. Just as you can see, X has one positive charge, and X ion, that is X cation, has one positive charge. Y anion has one negative charge. Means ions are charged particles and atoms are uncharged or neutral particles. And another difference is atoms generally do not have complete octet or stable electronic configuration, whereas ions always have stable electronic configuration. That is the important difference between atoms and ions. And another difference is given to us, which is oxidation and reduction. We have already studied oxidation and reduction in the 9th standard. That oxidation is gain of oxygen and reduction is gain of hydrogen, but in this chapter we are going to study it in another way. Oxidation is loss of electron and reduction is gain of electron. In this way, whenever an ionic compound or electrovalent compound is formed, oxidation as well as reduction has taken place. So just as we have seen in the above example, that the formation of the compound XY, X has donated electron, therefore X has undergone reduction. X has undergone oxidation, and Y has accepted electron, therefore it has undergone reduction. Therefore the reaction can be considered as redox reaction, as reduction and oxidation both have taken place. So in general you can remember the difference between oxidation and reduction, as oxidation is loss of electron or donation of electron, and whenever any substance gain electron or gain of electron is considered as reduction. And they have shown many examples that sodium after donation of 1 electron gets converted into Na1 plus, that is oxidation. Zinc after donation of 2 electrons gets converted into Zn2 plus, that is another example of oxidation. And they have also shown some examples of reduction, so you can go through it.